Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. As always, thanks so much for joining me here as we dive into more 28 years later content. So we're back on the rageleaks.net website here, where it's full of classified files. We checked it out in a previous video. Make sure you go and check out that video if you did not see it. Lots of juicy lore and backstory to get to in that video. But here we have two brand new classified files that we're going to be checking out. So if we come over here, we put in the password, press submit, and we go to the dashboard. So we can see here we have these classified files of different audio clips, different images. And by the way, this is what I'm talking about. We checked out all these files in the last video that we did, the last update. So if you do want to check out those files and you want a breakdown and a bit of a discussion, I'll link the video down below where you guys can get into those files if you want to. So the two new files that we're looking at in today's video, we have this one here called the other variant, and we also have one called on a life raft. And as we can see, other variant is an image file, and the on a life raft is an audio file. So, an image and an audio. So, two different things here to get into, which is kind of exciting. So, let's start with this one. It sounds like we're talking about a variant here to some degree. So, it looks like we have an email message. Okay, interesting. So, from Dr. Salek at redacted.org, the date is also redacted. So, why would the date be redacted? Is that of importance, like, as to when this message was sent? I suppose that factors into the timeline of what's going on in this movie universe. So, to Dr. Goldman at redacted.org. Okay, let's get into this message here. So, are you sure the data we're getting on this other variant is accurate? Because none of our models allow for size and strength at such a scale. I'm assuming that they're talking about the alpha variant here. The size and strength, that would be the alpha, that would fit the description. The cellular energy required would be off the charts, and I don't know how that would be sustainable. Yeah, I mean, the guy's got huge muscle mass, he's running around, chasing things. I mean, how is he sustaining that amount of muscle mass? He must be out hunting, he must have good intelligence to know where to find food, to how to sustain himself, to find shelter. So, you know, his intelligence must be there to be able to sustain his energy levels. So, I've looked at it multiple times, and the only thing I can come up with that makes sense is that someone transposed the numbers. So, they're looking at some sort of numbers here to do with the cellular intake of what this variant is, and they seem to think that someone's kind of fudging the numbers here. That's a lot more likely than sustaining the kilojoule intake a creature like this would feasibly require. If I could see the raw data, I could tell you more. So yeah, this guy's got access to some data, but it's not the raw data, so he doesn't have the full picture of what's going on with this variant. And but it sounds like he's kind of in disbelief that a creature of this size and this mass could sustain itself in this kind of situation that the UK finds itself in. So then he goes on to say, any update on my request for increased security clearance? So the guy who's sending this, he's trying to get access to more data because he doesn't have access to the raw data when it comes to this variant. And also he's trying to increase the security clearance to get access to more kind of classified files and information on the infected. So that's a very, very interesting message there. Again, we still don't know who exactly is behind this website. So we'll have to wait and see if we do find out who that is. Okay, so with that one down, we're going to be moving on to On a Life Raft. So this one is an audio file. Okay, so let's play this audio file here. It says it's 33 seconds long. Let's see what it has to say. It says here, this sounds really bad. Okay, that's not good because it's really bad. Okay, so here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Mayday, mayday. This is Erik Sundqvist from the other Sund. We hit something. Boat started taking on water. The boat is gone. 8 men on a life raft. Could have been more, but nobody wanted to leave without being heavily armed in case we need to land on shore. Somebody needs to come and help us. Send a rescue boat. Please, we're gonna stay away from the shoreline as long as we can. Is anybody listening? Is anybody reading this? Hello?
Wow, I mean, how creepy is that? So I love that it says in the marketing, we've hit something. Mayday, mayday, we've hit something. We're taking on water. But they never specify what they've hit. They've never said, oh, you know, we've run ashore, we've hit a rock, you know, the engine has failed. They never say anything like that the ship's, you know, broken in some way. They always say that we've hit something. So that leads me to question, what did they hit? I've come up with multiple theories that I've said in previous videos. Is there some sort of trap that the infected have set up? Maybe they've been monitoring this ship. They've realized that the ship kind of goes to the same place at the same time every day. Maybe somehow they've managed to damage the ship from underwater without the crew realizing. Maybe the infected are that intelligent now. Maybe the Alpha is responsible for breaking the ship. Maybe there's some sort of aquatic life that's been infected that's managed to destroy the ship. I really don't know. I doubt the aquatic life being infected is a relevant theory, but it's something I've still come up with. But yeah, I mean, they never specifically say what they've hit. So again, another question that's going to go unanswered until we see the film. But there's 8 men in a raft, and it says that they're staying away from the shoreline. So it sounds like the ship's gone down, it's taken in water, they've got onto the life raft, they're heavily armed, and they're floating just off the shore, and they're trying to stay in the water, trying to sustain themselves, and they're trying not to go on land if possible. We do know that they end up going onto land. We've seen it in the trailer, and they get confronted by one of the Alphas and some of the infected. As for what happens to all the soldiers, sorry, my Discord keeps going off, I apologize. As for what happens to these soldiers, we don't know. Do they all survive? Do they die? I'm assuming that some of them die. We see a lot of the infected chasing them in some of the clips, and I assume that some of them aren't going to make it. But your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, I mean, that clip sounds creepy as hell, and seeing what happens to these soldiers is going to be very, very interesting to play out there. So that's the two new files that we have here on the Rage Leaks website. If we get any more, guys, in the next few days as the film releases, I'll make sure to update you guys. I love looking at these files. They're really mysterious and creepy, and they really do add a lot to the world building here. So there we go, guys, a small update regarding the Rage Leaks website with 2 brand new entries, 2 creepy files for sure. One called The Other Variant. It looks like there's 2 doctors potentially discussing information regarding the Alpha variant, talking about its intake and how it sustains itself. And then the other, looking at an audio file of what appears to be a bunch of soldiers. Their ship has mysteriously hit something, although it doesn't tell us what. And it looks like they've got into the life raft and they're kind of floating around offshore of the UK. So guys, jump into the comment section. I would love to know what you think about these 2 new entries. Leave your thoughts, your comments, your theories, your opinions, and anything else to do with the 28 Years Later franchise. Whatever your thoughts may be, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. You always come up with the most incredible theories, the things that I never even considered, so I would love to have a discussion down in the comment section. As always, guys, thank you so much for being here and checking out this content. I really do appreciate it. Before you leave, make sure you hit the like button, consider becoming a subscriber if you haven't done so far, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with more 28 Years Later content that we have coming on the channel. As the movie releases, we're going to be checking out the social media reactions, the movie reviews, and I will be putting up my own review after seeing the film as well. So make sure you stick around for all of that good stuff. And with that down, I will see you in the next video.